Lewis Hamilton was penalised for a collision that the driver he hit called a normal racing accident, and the team principal of that driver admitted the entire situation was, quote, 100% our fault. So the FIA punished Hamilton. Mercedes defended him, and Ferrari, the team that lost the most, said almost nothing. That silence is the real story from the Belgian Grand Prix, because Ferrari didn't stay quiet out of weakness. They stayed quiet because they'd already found something more valuable than arguing over a 5-second penalty. George Russell reached the Kemmel Straight without the electrical deployment his Mercedes needed. The power loss left him dependent on the internal combustion engine alone, while Leclerc and Hamilton approached with considerably more momentum. Leclerc used the slipstream and effective energy deployment to move ahead. Hamilton attempted to follow through, but the space disappeared as the cars converged. Contact. Russell retired. 5-second penalty to Hamilton, reduced because it was an opening lap incident. But Russell himself described it as probably more of a normal racing accident. He did not demand punishment. He accepted both drivers might have done something differently, but saw it as two cars running out of road. Then Toto Wolff went further. We had a problem with all the Mercedes engines. We were lacking power on the straights. That penalized him heavily, and that is 100% our fault. The driver who was hit called it a racing incident. The team principal admitted his car should never have been there. And yet Hamilton took the penalty anyway. Ferrari's reaction should have been fury. Fred Vasseur called the penalty severe and noted Russell was already moving left, making contact fairly inevitable. Hamilton believed Russell's retirement had influenced the stewards, that the outcome made the collision look more decisive than it was. But Vasseur then did something unexpected. He shut the conversation down. I don't want to comment on the decision. It happened, and that is all. A team that believes it was robbed fights. Ferrari didn't fight. The reason becomes clear when you examine everything else that happened to Hamilton's car before he even reached the Kemmel Straight. The penalty wasn't the story Ferrari cared about. It was the performance they'd been forced to leave on the table. Hamilton's FP3 crash caused extensive rear-end damage to the SF26 and forced a full rebuild before qualifying. Ferrari returned the car to the track, but operational was not the same as optimized. When they rebuilt the car, they missed something in the suspension, Hamilton said. The balance was completely different. That meant I was probably a couple of tenths, perhaps 3 tenths, slower in qualifying than I should have been. Those tenths placed him 5th, inside a fight he should have been ahead of. The imperfect suspension didn't just cost qualifying. It put him directly into the sequence that produced the collision, the damage, and the penalty. The contact with Russell then removed aerodynamic components from the left front of the floor. I think we lost an enormous amount of downforce, Hamilton said. The front part of the floor was gone. Wrong suspension, damaged floor, and the worst was still coming. Under the virtual safety car, Ferrari executed a double stack. Leclerc was serviced first. Hamilton waited behind, serving his penalty. He had requested a front wing adjustment to rebalance the car for the hard compound. But that instruction was not communicated to the pit stop supervisor before the car arrived. After the penalty elapsed, the tyre change began. A late instruction for a 0.6-degree wing adjustment followed, but the green release light activated before the work was complete. Hamilton responded. A mechanic approached with the adjustment tool, failed to notice the light, and was struck by the front right tyre. He escaped injury. The adjustment was abandoned. Vasseur accepted full responsibility. It was a team error. Hamilton had the green light and set off. He was absolutely not at fault. The FIA fined Ferrari €30,000, with 10,000 suspended, and ordered revised procedures within 14 days. No further sporting penalty. But Ferrari had calculated a revised front wing angle specifically for the hard tyres, the lower fuel load, and the aerodynamic damage. Without it, Hamilton began the second stint with a balance designed for a different phase of the Grand Prix entirely. Hamilton was managing persistent understeer through Spa's technical sections, using only brake balance, differential, and engine braking from the steering wheel. Tools that could alter behavior, but none that could replace the physical adjustment that was missed. And then something shifted. Before we continue, subscribe and hit the bell, because Hungary is about to reveal whether Ferrari's silence at Spa was strategy or something much bigger. Between laps 29 and 33, Hamilton gained approximately 2 seconds on Leclerc. Lap 32, 1:49.6 to Leclerc's 1:50.2. 1 lap later, 1:49.5 against 1:50.2. Different circumstances. Leclerc had stressed his tyres, clearing Norris quickly, but the comparison supports Hamilton's belief. Without the damage, I believe we had the pace to win. Leclerc's race provided independent confirmation. Ferrari extended its opening medium tyre stint longer than any other team. Pirelli confirmed they were the only team to attempt something significantly different, keeping both drivers on the C3. When the virtual safety car arrived, Leclerc stopped at reduced time cost, fitted the C2 hard, and moved ahead of Kimi Antonelli. Suddenly, Ferrari was leading a race Mercedes was supposed to control. Antonelli recovered and retook the lead, but Leclerc stayed close enough to threaten through the slipstream and overtake mode, forcing Mercedes to alter its energy deployment strategy. In the cool-down room, Antonelli told Leclerc directly, "When you were behind me, I had to change my deployment." Mercedes had to adapt its most powerful weapon, electrical energy management, simply to hold off a Ferrari on a circuit that should have favored the Mercedes power unit. The electrical deployment problem affected all Mercedes-powered cars at Spa. Reliability and energy management are emerging as vulnerabilities beneath that powerful engine, and the Hungaroring plays directly away from Mercedes' strengths. Less full throttle running, more aerodynamic load and balance. Precisely where the SF26 has shown its strongest form. Hamilton believes the car will be strong there. Antonelli has admitted Ferrari will pose a serious threat. Even Vasseur, typically cautious, says the circuit's characteristics should be more favorable. Ferrari's silence after Belgium was not submission. It was prioritization. Arguing over a 5-second penalty would not recover lost points. But solving the operational failures, the suspension setup, the pit stop communication, would unlock performance worth far more than any penalty reversal. So was Spa a missed opportunity? Or was it the weekend Ferrari finally proved they are close enough to Mercedes that silence before Hungary was the smartest move they made all race?